Well, hi there, racing fans, and welcome to another edition of Winning Ways, where I've got Dees Diner in the hot seat today. Nice to have you with me, Dees.
Our pleasure being on the show, James, and lots to look forward to, especially with the Jockeys International coming up over this weekend. 3 days of it, so it's going to be an awesome week's racing.
The interesting thing is that I need to know from you, has word got out why Lafferty's not here?
No, I haven't heard any rumors on course.
No, you've got to come clean, eh?
No,
people want to know out there.
No, I haven't. I've chatted to a few guys, and the word is that he's gone to see his family in the UK.
It's always the excuse, but I think there's more to it than that. You know, last time he went for a little bit of help. Harley Street apparently was the place, yeah. This time I hear things are not going quite as well as they should be going. So he went back for a checkup and a couple of little bit of odds and ends being tied up, you know, just to tie things up for him.
I'll take it that he's going to see his family, but if you got the proof, James, you should dish it up.
Listen, you've got to get your ear closer to the ground. But let's move on. We're going to have a look at our 3 to follow. Right, we're going to have a look at 3 to follow. We've got a couple of nice horses. The first one is the horse with no name. Go and have a look at this race. This is at Kenilworth. It was the first race. There's a hell of a hoo-ha about this horse going on at the moment. The hot favorite was Abyssinia, and that ended up running second to a horse called Magic Feet. Well, we picked up Magic Feet's correct name. His name is, in fact, Ignition Lady. It was disqualified because it ran under the wrong name, and we think it might be worth following the way it won. Let's go and pick up Ignition Lady in the first at Kenilworth. She's drawn 6. She's got Hassan Adams colours on, and she's got the red cap. She's tucked in behind them, and she really is not in the race at this stage. Abyssinia is the winner. And looked like an absolute blinder in this race. She's number 4 saddlecloth, Abyssinia. But the other Hassan Adams runner is here on the outside, and the one with the red cap is behind them, about middle of the pack there, you'll see, with the sheepskin noseband.
Yeah, so just going towards the inside now, and here's the race where Abyssinia hits the front, and she looks like she's going to have a race on her hands with the horses on the inside. But this horse that you picked up, Magic Feet, or should I say Ignition Lady, also known as Magic Feet, really flies up at the business end of the race.
Well, yeah, here she gets going and wins a very, very good race indeed. So she's a maiden without a penalty, without being a winner.
Well, you've got the right name. You've given it to the boys. So the next time they see Ignition Lady run, James, put the number in the frame, the boys can lump on.
It should actually walk in, because Abyssinia had very, very good form.
Yes.
And this is a freebie, because when this runs in a maiden 1,000, 1,200, doesn't make any difference.
I must say well done to a few of the bookmakers, James. You know, you were just telling me off air, some of the guys refunded bets on Abyssinia.
Yeah, I think Hollywood, Interbet, they were the 2 that I'd read, but there were probably others as well. But they definitely refunded whatever you'd put on Abyssinia. Because Abyssinia looked like the business started 9 to 10.
Yes.
And ended up getting the race. That's the worst part about it, is that you backed it, you didn't get the money.
Yeah.
But you got refunded by some guys. So Brett Crawford's horse, well, it's a winner now without getting its head past the post.
So what happens now? This doesn't qualify for to race in a maiden anymore?
No, she's a winner, Abyssinia.
She's a winner.
Yeah, but
that's the rule.
The Magic Feet, now we don't know how good that is.
Everyone's going to be jotting that name down. Ignition Lady. Put that down. Ignition Lady. Next time that runs, have the bet of your life.
Right, let's go to the Vaal. And we saw at the Vaal a couple of nice horses step out towards back into the meeting. This was the Tuesday meeting at the Vaal. And Jeff Woodruff stepped out, the last 2 winners, both first-timers. But we like the way this horse won. Rake's Chestnut, really nice horse. Let's go pick him up.
Yeah, this will jump from draw 7, and in the Marcus Eustace Silks with Robbie Fred up. I was really impressed with this horse. Down the straight, 1400 meters at the Val, and this horse did everything right. Jumped out, sat midfield, and you'll see the manner in which this horse accelerates. But in the first half of the race, just very relaxed, sitting midfield, traveling well, James.
Yeah, the second horse ran a nice race, Turk's Turban. That's in the Chris Kerber colours, the yellow cap. It's following the winner, Rake's Chestnut. Rake's Chestnut's in behind the pacemakers at this stage. But when Robbie Frad asked us to go, the last 200 was what was impressive. Because take a look at Turk's Turban goes with him at this stage.
Yeah, there are a few horses that seem to be traveling well up front there, but none better than Robbie Frad at this stage. And you see Robbie just niggling Rake's Chestnut to get a move on now. And when he presses the button right here, James, I mean, this horse just puts lengths between himself and the opposition. And as you mentioned, 200 to finish, very impressive. A horse certainly worth following.
Well, here the Alec Laird charge comes out at him and certainly looks like, well, he's not going to get beaten far. But 200 to run, he gets beaten far, 6.5 lengths.
I'm impressed with the stride, James. This horse got a beautiful stride on it.
What is interesting about it is that there were a number of races down the straight on the day, and this was by far the fastest time. Now that always tells you something too. When a horse ends up winning, easing up, you would expect this horse to go on.
And it's quite tricky down the Val Straight. You know, it's not straightforward, James. You know, it's a matter of judging your pace, picking your position, where's the better going. There's lots to be taken into consideration. You know, you just look at it as a Val Straight, no bend to deal with, but it could be very tricky on certain days, and I thought this horse handled it superbly well.
Certainly looks like Son of Horse Chestnut's going to go on from there in the Ulster colours. Let's go and have a look at the next winner, which was Sunday at Scottsville. Now, very seldom do you see one of Mike de Kock's horses with his second or third string jockeys end up winning, but they obviously pulled a move here because the one that had the right jockey on, which is Delpeche, was friendless in the market. There was no money for Delpeche's ride. Warren Kennedy picked up this. Now, Warren's been off. He's had an injury and he's been off, and I think they threw him the bone here. And this one with conviction. She's a very, very nice filly, the Sio.
Chow Chow.
Chow Chow.
Chow Chow. I've spoke to John about the pronunciation.
John, that Dutchman wouldn't know what Chow Chow is. Chow Chow is spelled C-A-U, not C-I-O.
I think that's, I don't know.
C-O.
That's how they pronounce it.
Well, good luck to
Chow
them.
Chow.
Chow Chow.
Sure.
And I've been to Argentina. If you say Chow in Argentina, it's C-A-U, Chow. Okay, that's it, not C-I-O. Anyway, good luck to the way this thing won, because it looked very, very impressive indeed. And the full brother to Asiatic Boy, by Not For Sale, was the one with the right jockey on. So this was engineered to perfection. But I think they're clever because no one missed this horse out. It was 12 to 10 early in the betting, even money 12 to 10. It ended up starting 7 to 10, won easily. My filly ran third here. We'll pick them up at the start and chat through it. There she is in the Mary Slack colours. With a big nose strip. Mine's last on the inside. Mr. Break completely made a complete hash of it. And I think she'll be very much better over ground. So she's worth remembering, my lovely. She'll be much better over 1800, 2000, 1600, any distance. But Chow Chow is sitting in fourth, fifth with Warren Kennedy, the red cap, and absolutely cantering.
Yeah, with all due respect, James, it wasn't the strongest maiden, and I think they picked their spot with this horse. And let's see how she goes here. You know, she's traveling very well at this stage, and it just looked like at the 500 meter mark, it's going to be how far for me, James. So from where I was watching, I was really confident that she's going to win and win well, because John Buckley did give us a bit of confidence with regards to her ability.
Yeah, she won a very, very nice race indeed. And as you can see, mine and the blinkers running around it, end up running third, got beat about a neck for second place. And Asiatic Boy's sister, Minwa, ran fifth. Obviously not close to being ready and will probably improve. But
I thought you would have picked up your horse there, James. That was a nice run. That was really a nice, only having the second start now. And the favourite obviously above average, showing a bit of work back home. But between your horse and Alistair Gordon's horse, I think both those horses worth following next time.
Well, he beat me 3 lengths last time. They ran in the same race. He beat me 3 lengths, and confirmed the form.
Yes.
But I really believe that my filly needed another run down the straight. But once she goes round the bend, she'll be worth following. She's quite a nice filly.
James, if I may, compliments yesterday, London Olympics, in the last, in the ninth.
You know what they say, Dees? Even a blind squirrel gets an acorn.
Sure.
And I stepped out my whole team yesterday.
Yes.
I had 2 fourths, a third, and a winner.
It
which
was a nice day. It was a
quite,
nice day.
quite good for a bad battling team like I got. But you know, when every night again we get things right.
And you're good at training your owners too, James. You made them keep their horse. You
Well,
trained your owners
you
well
know,
there.
those guys, what does Graham Hawkins know about whether a horse should be kept or not? You know,
Sure,
I said to him, "We'll keep it." Graham, you know, he's a pseudo professional.
Graham had a double yesterday, James. Well
Graham
done.
had a double. Well done to him.
Well done
Yeah.
to you.
Right, well, we're going to move on. We're going to look at Blast from the Past, and here we're going to look at some horses that won the Arkle Chase. We've been following Arkle and watching him, and there's 3 winners of the Arkle Chase. We got the 85 winner, which was Boreen Prince, a very good leper he was. Remittance Man in the 91 and 95, Clarion Davies. We're going to watch all 3 of those in the Blast from the Past.
Five weeks in Kempton, being looked after by vets, Arkle boarded the plane for home. He spent a period of convalescence at the Duchess's estate before returning to Tom Draper's yard in October 1967. Speculation ebbed and flowed regarding a possible comeback for the great horse.
Mrs. Draper, what's your latest reaction to your report announcement?
Well, we are sorry that he's not fit to put into training straight away now, but we knew there was this possibility, and we must just have patience. And in a couple of months, when they take another X-ray, perhaps he'll be ready then to do more. But he certainly won't race this season. Perhaps next season, we don't know.
Well, what do you think of the chances of a complete recovery?
Oh, 50-50.
But the comeback wasn't to be, as Arkle never really regained his old spark, and in 1968 he was formally retired. Arkle made numerous celebrity appearances, but the onset of arthritis was taking its toll. In May 1970, Pat Taff went to visit his old partner, and on seeing him in distress, realised that there was only one option. The Duchess travelled from England to see her pride and joy one last time, and on May the 31st, 1970, Arkle was put to sleep. Arkle's legacy lives on, and in recognition of his magnificent feats at Cheltenham, the racecourse erected a statue in his honour which stands proudly in the enclosure. His achievements remain the benchmark by which all others are measured, and as each generation of young aspirants bids to emulate his feats, they inevitably tread the path to Cheltenham. The Irish Independent Arkle Chase is the race where they put their credentials on the line.
Race towards the final fence. It's Buckhouse being challenged by Boreen Prince. Very promising on the stand side. Wide open race over on the far side. Buckhouse on the near side. Very promising. Between horses, it's Boreen Prince. It's Buckhouse with the advantage now from Boreen Prince as they race into the closing stages. Boreen Prince and Buckhouse, there's nothing between them. Boreen Prince getting the upper hand as they race to the line. Boreen Prince is going to win the Arkle. At the line, Boreen Prince is the winner of the final fence now. And it's Remittance Man on the far side. Uncle Ernie under pressure on the near side. It's Remittance Man with the advantage. Remittance Man comes to it a length and a half in the lead. He jumps it brilliantly. It's Remittance Man on the far side. Uncle Ernie can give no more in second. Devil's Valley is third. Remittance Man is going to win the Waterford Castle Arkle Challenge Trophy in great style. Remittance Man is the winner. Uncle Ernie is second.
They start to turn in, and they've just got one more fence to jump, and it's Soundman and Clare and Davis. Could it be another Irish 1-2? They've kicked 4 clear of Cavitroff as they hurdle down to the final fence. The striped jacket, Clare and Davis. White cap the far side, Soundman. They're coming down towards the final fence. How do they jump it? Clare and Davis jumps it just a bit up, but Soundman isn't giving up. And there's a wall of sound as they hit up the run in, coming up towards the line. Clare and Davis nearest to us. Soundman the far side, but neither horse will be beaten. But it's Clare and Davis just proving the stronger. And a desperate struggle for the line. It's Clare and Davis who wins from.
It's Arkle on the stand side for Ireland and Millhouse for England on the far side. And this is it with Arkle just taking the lead as they come to the last fence. It's going to be Arkle if he jumps it. Arkle coming to the last now. And Arkle a length here of Millhouse. He's over and clear. Millhouse is trying to challenge him again, but it's Arkle on the stand side. Millhouse over on the far side, coming up towards the line. And Arkle is holding him. Arkle going away now from Millhouse. This is the champion. This is the best we've seen for a long time. Arkle is the
Well, what a great horse Arkle was. Do you take an interest in the jump racing?
You know, I'm just thinking about that as I was watching that. You know, we only been introduced as a South African racing public to jumps racing very recently through initiatives from Teletrack, and you know, just chatting to punters and race goers, they've all taken to the jumps racing, especially the Cheltenham Carnival, and we just saw a statue of Arkle there now erected at Cheltenham. I mean, he'll forever, you know, be remembered as a champion, James. But yeah, personally, I like having a punt. I have a punt on the harness racing, the jumps racing. I like having a go, James. But just having a watch at this horse and the sentiments from the lady that was interviewed there.
Yeah, Betty Draper. She's the trainer's wife.
Fantastic, James. And he was retired in '68 and then died in '70, James. But yeah, he's, you know, for them to have put up a statue of him, he must have given them memories, unforgettable memories, James.
Well, I can tell you my lucky break in life was that when I told my father I wanted to be a racehorse trainer, he said, good, you can go to England and work in a racing stable. And he sent me to a jumping stable of a guy called Toby Balding, who won the Grand National in 1967. I arrived in 1971 in March. In the 1st of March, it was the most freezing cold day.
I was born in '71, James. I was born in '71.
I arrived there and started working in the stable, and that's where I met Terry Payne, because I looked after his horse. He was the captain of Southampton, top footballer.
Yeah.
And I looked after his horse. I groomed his horse for him.
Terry Payne, MBE.
MBE. Yeah, you know what MBE stands for?
British member of the British Empire.
No. My bloody efforts. Terry will tell you. My bloody efforts is an MBE, and the OBE is others' bloody efforts. That's what Terry told me once.
But Terry Payne, I mean, how long has he been in South Africa then, James? I mean, he's forever been on the show with the soccer.
I know, he's a soccer expert. You know, it's
part of the World Cup team in winning World Cup.
1966.
Yes.
Yeah, World Cup. Let's go and have a look at Plum of the Week, because we're running out of time. We've got to get moving.
They come down to the final 300. Master of My Fate down towards the inside, come forward to pick it up. Supersonic Sam is trying to stay with him. Laurie's Gold is a big challenger up the outside. Master of My Fate's in front, but he's flat to the board. Supersonic Sam trying to come back on Laurie's Gold, but Master of My Fate is too good, and Master of My Fate stays on to win it. Laurie's Gold just got second. Grasp Your Destiny, brilliant cut. Supersonic Sam weak and late in behind it.
Well, this is our star for the Cape season, Master of My Fate. He looks like a really nice horse, doesn't he, Dees?
Yeah, he looks fantastic. Always highly thought of by Dennis Stryer, making his winning debut down in the Cape. He's going to be our big horse.
One of our flagships, yeah.
For representing KZN down there. We have a few. Gavin Van Zales there. I see Duncan Howell's taken a few, but it was really nice to see Mrs. Papa Giorgio on course. I watched the interview with her, and it was fantastic because, you know, there's a story behind the source, and you know, nice to see him do what they expected him to do.
Well, he was worth backing, because on Interbet you could have got a much better price than with the bookmakers. Always worth having a bet on. They shortened him dramatically in the betting. We're going to go and take a break now and watch some racing overseas, and we'll be back with you with current affairs. Right, let's go with current affairs and see if what we've got as far as the show's concerned. There was only one race in South Africa, but let's get the sting. Current affairs this week. We're going to show you a couple of races of interest, and then we're going to go after that and have a discussion in your call. Dees and I are going to discuss a couple of things that are happening in the racing world. But we're going to go firstly to the Cape, Kenilworth, the Choice Carriers Championship. This is a build-up for all the top 3-year-old fillies around. Very good races. Let's go and have a look, and thanks to Choice Carriers, our sponsors.
And sent them away. Where do we go? Mr. Kick lost a length or two. Straight away, it's Highly Decorated who's being pushed along and goes up to look for the early lead. Right along the inside, Zacharias is going up handy. Past them all, Alaskan Maiden, the far side, has gone round runners and now sets off to show the way. Pure Power has also gone up to race handy on the far side. Alaskan Maiden took a slight check there as they settle down a race and head towards the 1,000-metre mark. Pure Power has won that battle for the lead. Alaskan Maiden back at the fence is travelling well in second. They being followed by Masked Lady, who's up on the outside racing third. Zacharias is in behind those. Then it's Highly Decorated who shows up next and about 4 lengths off this leader. Further back behind that, Chapisa. Lana Falcon is caught 3 deep and Coco is back at the fence. In the fast lane races just in behind that one. One caught deep on their outside. Looks like Catchphrase is racing a little one, and the Sea Cat rather is caught wide on the turn. Along came Polly, will corner about 7 lengths off them as they straighten up now. Icy Winter Air races in behind that. Pure Power brought the field for home. She's the one out in front. Now Alaskan Maiden puts on the pressure over towards the inside. Highly Decorated, Masked Lady in behind that. Pure Power still finds extras. They race down to the final 150. Alaskan Maiden, Highly Decorated between runners, is trying to come home strongly. Alaskan Maiden, but Pure Power is hanging tough in the centre. Highly Decorated, flashing home and down the inside. Two's in the fast lane. In the fast lane, flashed home and may have just got up to win it. It's very close. Highly Decorated was in behind that.
Well, here's a guy riding at the top of his game. Sean Cormack certainly did a great job to get this one home, and very good winner.
Very good winner. Justin Snade looked to have a strong hand. So did Mike Bass. I see Justin finished first and second. Mike Bass third, fourth, and fifth. But
it's not going to. Mike Bass is not going to be happy about that, because Justin's always got a lot to say about the old man. And Walter, Walter's been flying the flag for us old buggers. And now suddenly this whippersnapper comes up and runs first and second. I'm a bit worried about where things are going.
No, but I think Mike Bass will definitely bounce back, James. You can't put a good man down. And Justin Snade, well done to him with this one. But kudos to Sean Cormack. As you mentioned, he's really riding well. This was, not the lesser fancied of the runners from the Snade yard. The Richard Fouries mount, I thought, would be the right horse from that yard. Finished second, but a brilliant ride by Sean Cormack. We had an awesome day at Kenilworth. He had 3 winners, a Master of My Fate, Jetta Glow, and this horse. And, of course, he rode a double yesterday at Scottsville. So, yeah, well done to the sponsors here. Choice Carriers, that's what we need in the game. People putting their money down and sponsoring these big races. You mentioned it's a fantastic race for the fillies. And I don't think a disappointment, James, because on Gavin Van Zyle's website, he mentioned that this is going to be a prep run for Along Came Polly.
Yeah, I was disappointed, I must tell you. I thought that she'd run a bit better than that, but there you go. If it was a prep run, who knows where she's going to go from here. But there were some nice runners in this race, and some horses ran some good races. There's quite a good bunch of fillies, I think. I don't think there's any standout, but there's quite a good bunch of fillies around, and that certainly was a nice race to watch.
Jetmaster, James?
Yeah, Jetmaster. Beautifully bred, and I don't know the owners. I think they might be Australian. I'm not sure. But let's go talk about Australia. Australia's big racing season is on at the moment, and we're going to have a look at one of the championship races there, because our favourite son, or one of our favourite sons that's running in Australia, won the $1 million Emirates Stakes. And it was a Schofield. We watched a Schofield last a couple of weeks ago winning the Cox Plate. That was Chad, the son. This was Glyn, Chad's old man. Thought, I'm not going to let the boy get away with everything. So he gets out there and he gives them a go. Let's go and watch Boban win the Emirates Stakes.
Speediness jumps well on the inside. Nashville slow from the outside. And into stride very quickly is Solzhenitsyn over on the outside, going to the lead with Rhythm to Spare. As they settle through the first couple of 100 metres, Toydini's got over into third placing, followed by Malakalok on the move, and then Speediness fifth or sixth, the inside of Spur Tonic. A length and a half further back came Bow Band, and they're followed by Smoke and Joey, Blackie and Sacred Falls. 2 lengths away then came Strike the Stars, the outside of Stipulate, and back last is Nashville. So it's Rhythm to Spare bowling along in the Emirates, led by about 2 lengths here from Mull of Kalok with 1,000 to go. Solzhenitsyn on the rail, a length and a half to Spur Tonic, getting a beautiful run. 2 lengths in front of Toy Dini, Smoke and Joey, Speediness. 1 further back is Bow Band, Sacred Falls. They're followed by Blackie and Stipulate, Strike the Stars, and 2 lengths away was Nashville. In the run towards the home turn now, and Rhythm to Spare, the leader down on the inside from Mull of Kalok, Solzhenitsyn, and then Spur Tonic just poised for his run. Smoke and Joey coming around the outside when they sweep into the straight. Sacred Falls is getting to the outside now. They sweep around the home turn, and it's Mull of Kalok who's gone to the lead. Solzhenitsyn stayed right against the inside. Still there is Rhythm to Spare. Smoke and Joey down the outside, and they're followed by Bow Band. He's now starting to descend on them. They've come to the 200 metres, and Speediness has got up on the inside. Goes to the lead now. Coming on Bow Band. Mull of Kalok is boxing on. Speediness with 100 to go. Bow Band coming after him. Mull of Kalok in the middle. Right across the track. Bow Band dives. Bow Band! He's done the big double. Bow Band beats either Speediness or Smoke and Joey out wide. Toy Dini is close up with Mull of Kalok, and also then Sacred Falls right.
Well, there you go. A lot of very excited ladies there. And Bow Band, Clinton Schofield, what a good ride.
What a good ride, and you could easily pick him up. You know, he doesn't have that whooping action like the other jocks. You just saw him coming through. Brilliant
Balanced,
ride, James.
eh?
Brilliant ride.
Well, that's why the South Africans ride them to sleep in Australia. You know.
All over the world.
Jeff
yes.
Lloyd was riding them to sleep. We got the boys all over the world,
Douglas
as you
White,
say.
Hong Kong. But I just want to have a look at the stakes here, James. You've printed this out, and is this in Aussie dollars?
Yeah.
600,000 first prize. 600,000.
6 million rand.
6 million rand, James.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
That's what they race for.
10% to Glenn.
Yeah. Glenn, don't worry, he's not. He's got his son. I hope he's keeping his son's purse strings tied up like
Sure.
Chad. Chad had a ride in the race. He was the only apprentice to have a ride in the race. He's taken them by storm as an apprentice, Chad Schofield. Done really, really well.
I actually chatted to Glenn because Chad was wanting to come down with Glenn for this year's Vodacom Durban July, and he was looking for a ride. And you know, he's a promising young kid, and hopefully one of these maybe the next Jockey International. You know, we can invite the kid over, James. You know, these guys are doing well abroad. You know, they should think about maybe inviting our jockeys that are representing us abroad to represent us in South Africa. Although they're plying their trade overseas, you know, it's nice to see them back in the country because we all watch them.
Well, let's talk about that just now. We got your call coming. You jumped the gun. You know, they had the PE, as they say. You know, that's a very famous expression on this show. But let's move on. We're going to go and have a look in your call, and we're going to chat about what's going on. Right, well, here we are on your call. We did have a couple of guests lined up. Unfortunately, all types of problems beset us. So I said to Dees, well, let's just chat. And, you know, Dees can tell us all the interesting inside information, what's going on his side of the town. But before we go there, we have got international jockeys. And now you can have a full go.
Now, just want to wish our guys all the best. Pierre Stradom, the captain. I had a quick word with Samanga yesterday. Last year, I think he was on the bench, and he's really glad to be given a full go this year. And they lost it last year, James, and it was really a pleasure to meet some of those international guys, especially Joe Moreira. I mean, he's just taken the world by storm, and it was a pleasure for us.
So who's coming this year? Give us a story.
I don't know most of them, James, but it comes up on the screen. But I definitely know Tom Quealy is there, Richard Hughes is there. I just had a glimpse of the names, but we'll be brushing up this week on the guys that will be coming down.
Yeah, it's always great fun, and they race over the weekend, don't they? They race Saturday at Turfentine, Sunday here.
I think it's
Saturday
Friday night.
Yeah.
Friday night Turfentine.
Turfentine,
Saturday Kenilworth, and then Sunday at Clarewood.
Yeah, Clarewood, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Monday and Tuesday we're going to the Wild Coast.
Oh, fantastic!
We're going to go and play golf with them.
Oh, that's great.
So, I don't know about the show because Lafferty, I hear this procedure that he's having is going to take a couple of weeks.
Is it?
And you know, he might have to be treated for depression too. Because Grant Knowles will be on his case like nobody. Grant Knowles and Bill Nelson.
Mm.
Did you see what happened yesterday?
No.
Tottenham got beaten by Newcastle.
I didn't watch that. Thankfully, I didn't watch that, James. I mean,
Thankfully,
I wouldn't have been on the show this morning.
Well, Graham Hawkins, we couldn't get him on the show this morning. He's submerged in a bath trying to get over it. Yeah. He's they thought he might have committed hurry, but he didn't. Okay, he just got a straw and he's underneath the water and he's breathing through the straw. Okay?
So, but
they put a little bit of cochineal in the bath.
So you're saying that this Jockey International over 3 days, our boys got home ground, James. We have to win it this year.
Well, you never know. There's some good boys that come over from overseas. It's always a good event, great fun. Nothing worth like the Jockeys International.
Yeah, fantastic. We're looking forward to it. And you got Michael Holmes to
Before
sale,
we go there, okay, let's have a look at this. This is tomorrow at 4 o'clock. The Michael Holmes sale. Michael Holmes is having a sale at 3:45, not 4 o'clock, 3:45, Turfentine Racecourse. And it's a dispersal sale, but what's interesting about it, these sales come up every now and again. But this sale is very interesting because it's a dispersal sale of 11 horses from Tyrone Zacky's yard. And there's some nice horses there.
Yeah, there's some nice horses. I just had a glimpse to it. There's a horse called Judicial that I'm really interested in on that sale.
Judicial, that was the horse that Pierce Stradham tossed a ready-to-run cup on, didn't he? Came around on the outside late, he arrived late.
James, you say it as it is. You say it as it is. But that's a nice horse on that sale.
You've got to say it as it is.
Sure.
This show takes preference over everything, you know. Striker, we give him a lot of kudos, but that wasn't his best. Okay.
Sure. But Michael has plenty of these dispersal sales throughout the year, and every now and again you can find a good horse on one of these. I know he has the one before our Vodacom Durban July, where most of Mike de Kock's horses are auctioned here in the parade wing at Graver.
This is slightly different. This is obviously a bust-up between some partners, but the horse that is obviously the interesting horse is Spongy Mungy. He got beaten a short head in the
is that on there? I didn't see that.
Yeah, he's on the sale.
He just won 2 weeks ago.
He won very easily 2 weeks ago. And if you look at Spongy Mungy, he's won 1.6 million rand, which is incredible, including the Victory Moon, London News, and plays Durban July, Colorado.
Desperately close in the July, James. Yeah. Desperately close.
Yeah, as I keep saying to Tyrone, put a set of aluminiums on, it would have won. But that seems to be more or less our graph for this week. Is there anything going on your side of town? What Isipingo, Chatsworth,
I moved to Durban now, James. I moved to Durban.
But I want to know what's going on with the community.
I just want to touch on that ready-to-run sale that we had a week or so ago. The reason being that through the DTI we apply for IBM's inward buying missions, and we bring down international visitors, and obviously in the hope of them purchasing at these sales. And this year we had a group from Hong Kong, Robert Chung, Norman Wu, and Dr. Michael Tang. And Robert Chung bought 6 horses, Norman Wu 5, and Dr. Michael Tang bought 8. So between them, they purchased 19 horses to the value of 6 million. So there's a lot of international interest, James, in our horses. Dr. Michael Tang and Norman Wu are first-time owners. They will be first-time owners in this country, first-time investors. So I thought it was just awesome that
I think you guys have done a magnificent job. But from my point of view, rubbish. No one without a South African passport should be allowed to buy at these sales. I was under bidder on about 4 horses. Michael Tang, he just stopped there. My rand against his Hong Kong dollar is nothing. It's
Hong Kong dollar and rand, not much difference.
Well,
not much difference.
The trouble is he's got more than me. Okay.
But
But well done to them, and well done to you guys. But I was bidding away, and all I saw was these guys, they keep looking at the bid board, working it out in US dollars. Oh, that's only about $3,000. It was 30,000 rand. It goes to 100,000 rand. Oh, it's $10,000. Nothing. They keep going. I'm trying to buy a Burgle horse for 80,000 rand or 100,000 rand.
Well, we got the Cape Premier ready to run sale coming up.
Are they coming for that as well?
No, I don't,
Okay.
I don't think
Well,
so.
they're not. But these, I think it's fantastic, and hopefully these horses turn out good for them. They have a lot of fun here. I know
Yes.
Roy Magno is involved with them. I think Dennis has got some horses for them. There's
Yes.
some good guys involved with them. So good luck to all of them, and good luck to you guys for bringing them over. And if we could export horses, as we say every week on the show,
Sure.
and we'll be talking to Peter Gibbs on 8th of December.
8th of December, I've confirmed it. He's just going to be, he's just going to finalize everything with at the board meeting, and then he's going to come give the public the latest after the board meeting. How's the stabling going at Summerfeld, James?
Beautiful, building
new
like
stable.
lunatics, looking fantastic. We'll get the guys here on the show to show us some pics and everything, but it's going very nicely.
And from what we've just seen on the screen, the PE all-weather track looks awesome.
Well, I think this is the way racing's going, and you know, we're certainly a progressive country. We're looking forward to Greyville. I've got a couple there that's, don't worry, they'll fly on this track.
Sure.
So let's call it a day. Dees, thanks so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure having you.
Only
in
a
the
pleasure,
studio.
James. Only a
We
pleasure
have to
being on your
shake
show.
hands. What do you, my rings, are they all there still? You've got to be careful with these guys. From me and Dees, you have a great week's racing. We'll look forward to seeing you next week.